And the motion passes. Thank you. Number 7, public hearing. There is none this evening, so number 8. General business. 8A, consideration of adopting resolution 2013-124, acknowledging a donation of $500 from Mooney Holly for the Rushford ambulance service. The attached resolution and thank you letter.
Move to approve 2013-124 and with thanks to Mrs. Holly.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Hansi. Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. And a thank you to Mrs. Holly for her generous donation. 8B, consideration of taking action and completing appropriate documentation on the recommendation of the Economic Development Authority regarding a revolving loan fund request. The attached excerpt from the 12/18/2013 EDA meeting minutes reflects the review of the EDA subcommittee and actions recommended by the EDA board. Number 1, resolution 2013-125, approving a loan request of $94,653 for Jesse Street Java LLC and Feller Properties LLC to assist in funding for a coffee shop with 2 upstairs apartments at 114 and 116 West Jesse Street. See attached. Would our EDA president care to come forward and speak to this?
You want me to come up here?
Sure.
Well, do you all know what this loan is, the nature of this loan? It's in your notes here, right? $94,000 to rehabilitate the building, put apartments upstairs, put in a coffee shop. The fellers are here too if you have any questions for them. But we started with this, well, Steve started months and months ago, but the EDA got it after CETA did a business plan, which was, I think, a model for business planning for us to follow in the future. At that time, there was no bank financing. The fellers went back to the bank, did eventually get a business appraisal and secure a financial loan, somewhat contingent on EDA gap financing. We then looked at it, the value increased, we went back to CETA, and they redid the business planning numbers to look at the burn rate on the loan, the cash flow, and just make sure that through the sales projection that this is a viable project, and basically blessed it. With our subcommittee looked at it again. That would be Janelle, Ansel, myself, Steve, and Joyce. We then recommended to the EDA and had a meeting to discuss it, to approve this and send it to the council. And that's basically where we're at. We think the combination of a very sensible, grounded project to have retail here, to improve a storefront downtown, to basically rescue an empty building downtown, to add affordable rental units upstairs, also downtown. That together with the fact that these are local people who are going to manage it and are putting a lot of their own personal equity and financial equity as well as sweat equity into the project, it just looks like a very good candidate for city assistance. So the EDA voted to recommend to the council to approve this loan.
You say they had a prior appraisal before they had started any of the renovations?
No, they had a business plan.
Oh.
A business. Actually, like many of us, you know, I think, and the fellows should speak to this to themselves, but you know, I think they began the project, and as they started, they began to see this is going to cost. you may say that they kind of started in without having the whole landscape surveyed, but I mean, that's, surveyors do that too. They walk out on a plat they've never seen and suddenly start spotting trees and hills.
So, talking about an appraisal, has there been a new appraisal after they've gone through
The
all
banks
this
did
work?
an appraisal.
Then are you at liberty to say what that was, or?
Why don't you, how should we proceed with that? I don't want to violate your privacy, but if you're willing to talk about the appraisal.
You may or may not, whichever.
Well, either way, the appraisal didn't come in as high as we would wanted it to, so.
In Rushford, they haven't done so.
It was a challenge for the appraiser to find comps and to, with all of the elements involved. It was a little bit of a challenge for him, but, which is why we're looking for some other financing, other ways so that the bank can still help us out, so.
I would add on the appraisal, you know, that the combined EDA, proposed combined EDA and bank financing exceeds the appraisal value. But this is a small rural town. This is a very old building. You know, if it was $150,000, you know, brand new storefront, it would appraise a lot differently. But it's really rescuing an old building.
So I move to approve this 2013-125 EDA business subsidy.
Second it.
Motion by Mr. Dahl, second by Mr. Hansi. Are there any other questions for our EDA president or the fellers? Or our city administrator?
Yeah, I'd like to know here, this through the bank, that's got first priorities, EDA's got second,
Yes.
so you're gonna have two payments every month,
We're deferring for a year.
right?
EDA is.
Oh, I see that here.
Yep.
So you still got two payments per month in that month.
Correct.
And then you're gonna have it appraised after you get it all fixed up?
No, we hadn't planned to.
You don't
Until
need an
maybe-
appraisal?
The bank is the one who actually had us for the appraisal before funding, so the appraisal just was completed like 2 weeks ago.
If I could comment, the appraisal, while it's important, really important to the bank, I would suspect, because they're first in line if the fellers default. They're gonna end up with the property. We're not gonna. The EDA won't.
EDA,
The EDA won't. So, I mean, we can, that's understood, I think, at the EDA level. What's important, the most important thing that I think that the EDA has to take into consideration, and that the fellers certainly need to be cognizant of, and you know what they're getting into, and I'm sure they do, is the repayment of the loan to the bank and to the EDA. So their cash flow is the key. If they can create the cash flow, they will succeed. If they can't, that's going to be the issue. And you know, creatively, I think the EDA, thinking that if we do defer for that first year, that we know that, you know, from past experience with any small business, that first year cash flow issues are key. You know, it's necessary that a business be able to get started up and get their feet underneath them so that they can succeed. So if you agree, Tom, I guess, or disagree, you know, let me
No,
know.
I-
But that's really the sum total of the EDA position.